Hello everyone and welcome back to the Bodywood Brawl League Season 3, and we're here for the upper division. We are finally here. It's gonna be so exciting to follow the upper and lower division. We're here with Quist against Klajd. We have rivals in the ruins. That's very good. It's gonna give us a lot of time to talk here. So, following this game from Quist's perspective, as said, he's playing as the Undead, Klajd as the Witch Hunters. Klajd is definitely the favorite in this game. Gonna see how it turns out. Thankfully they did not get the other rivals in the ruins deployment here, both being on the low ground. So, wow, you can see that in the top left corner of the screen here, 136 morale for Quist, but 170 for Klajd. Oh my god, that is so high. He's definitely the highest in the league when it comes to morale. It's virtually impossible to rout Klajd at this point. So let us take a quick look at the score table here. We have an expanded table because we are 12 players now in the upper division, 12 players in the lower division. We can see Klajd taking on Quist. It's going to be the second game for the upper division, the very first one that we cast. Paranoia and Kid and Pop played yesterday. Quist is definitely a little bit rusty here coming in. He said as much, saying that he has not played with this warband for like 2 months now, well, at least 7 to 8 weeks or so. That was the last time we played up here. I think it's actually 8 weeks now, while Klajd has been playing with his warband just recently, in fact even yesterday. He's more in form and also the favorite here. It's so exciting to see the upper division finally coming in. If you do remember, neither of these players were part of the Bodywood Brawl League Season 2, but there was some disappointment that the upper and lower division were cancelled at that point. But here we have it, and this, ladies and gentlemen, or mostly gentlemen, from the UK, according to my YouTube statistics, is what Mordheim is all about. We have a massive, big league. 3 divisions, qualifier leagues, they are done with. Every single player has played 7 PvP games. Top 4 in each league has coming up to the upper division. Then bottom 4 down to the lower division. And now we have another big league playing out. And this is very fun. We are gonna have more even games now, since people are gonna be facing competition that are more suitable to their level and warbands that are more suitable to their level. And after this we're gonna have a single elimination playoffs. So it's all winding up there. All of the players in the upper division, of course, they're going to the playoffs no matter where they end up. And the top 4 players in the lower division, meaning that for this time it's all about trying to win the games, collect the rewards, and build up your warband so that it is as good as it can possibly be at the start of the playoffs. Remember, it's single eliminations. If you just lose a single game there with a bit of bad luck, you're out of the tournament. But not before then. So everyone here has 11 PvP games on them to build up their warband even further. It's gonna be, so as usual, it's exhibition here in the PvPs, but a single PvE in between each game allows for some leveling. Also gonna see what kind of hero Klajd has chosen as his third choice. We do know that he is double Templars for the first 2 hero choices. More than likely the third hero choice is a fresh new warrior priest for Klajd. And this cannot get any more exciting, I think. It's going to line up pretty well to one another, these players, as when it comes to the upper division, if you do finish in First place, you're gonna face off against the one who finished 4th place in the lower division. And of course, if you finished first in the lower division, you're gonna face off against whoever finished 4th in the upper division, and that's for the playoffs. But we have a long time ahead of us now, judging by how long it took to play the initial 7 games, and naturally it was one of the leagues that was dragging out quite a bit more. We could suspect that that's going to be the same with the lower division now, as many of the players who got up to the upper division are slightly bit more motivated to keep on playing, since they have been winning a lot. Do see one of the targets that Quist needs to take down, but he only gets a single extra point in the table if he gets the objective, and it's really difficult to get marked for that when you do have to get 3 targets. One of the advantages, I don't know if Quist has paid attention, but Klajd does not have any ranged units whatsoever unless he's brought in one for his 3rd hero choice here. That's not true, however, of Quist Warband, who sports a Dreg. Might see some new things here. Remember that these 2 players just got Warband rank 4, meaning that they can now start hiring a DLC unit for their Warbands. And they can only have 1 DLC unit active at a time, so they really need to pick the one that suits them most. Undead could make really good use out of a Globadier, for instance, if they want to. Especially considering that the vampires and the zombies are all immune to the poison clouds. Gonna jump ahead a little bit here for Klajd's movement. And here he goes, has already picked up Exhaustion Basic. That's gonna do him really good once he can get that mastered. Making up for one of the main disadvantages of the Dreg Archers, which is that they have the lowest movement out of any hero in the game, starting with 5 movement. So they are more than likely to get caught. We also saw, of course, that Quist has invested in one of the Globadiers for his 3rd hero choice. Still gonna wait to see what Klajd has brought to the table. But it's very, very likely that it's going to be a warrior priest, considering how strong they can be, especially in this format, but in really any kind of format. Very good with the various spells. Armor of Righteousness, Deny the Heretic, both very strong. You have Healing Hand, you have Shield of Fate, also very strong spells. Gonna see what the Gold Tooth here can do. Can he shoot and move back? He can get 1 shot off, and then he needs to get the globe off. He needs to actually hit him. I think he can move a little bit forward here. He doesn't need to be that shy. Could just move up to the top level here. Remember that Klajd does not have a single ranged unit available to him, so he's gonna struggle to do anything worthwhile at range. On the other hand, one of the main advantages of having a full melee warband is that you quickly overwhelm your opponents And you can produce a lot of all alone checks, and as soon as you trap one of these ranged units and get them locked down, you have a very big advantage, and then it's just a matter of time before you bring them down. Quist seems to be moving forward cautiously here, preparing for the eventuality of an onslaught by Klajd. Don't think that Klajd will move forward here. He wants to avoid the poison cloud, obviously, so he would want to walk around it, but you can see that how much forward this flagellant is, and he is probably reluctant to move in with him while the rest of the band are still trying to catch up. Might be surprised to see Quist here. Could have expected him maybe to have gone for a different path, which would most likely have been down towards the Wordstone, since that's his no, okay, yeah, sorry, that's not his objective. My mistake. He's setting up some really nice traps here. The only thing he needs to do is not to get spotted, so that he can surprise with these flanks. Because he's all over the place right now. And as soon as that flagellant moves forward, he's gonna see this ghoul. Gonna see a whole lot, the other ghoul as well on the flagellant's left side. Let's see how much Klajd is gonna commit here. With this many units out in the open, he should really bring in that dreg to help out, doing a little bit of shooting. As soon as you hit Warband rank 4 like these two players have, the chance to get some purple items have increased quite a bit. It's not it's quite a big leap up from rank 3, but at rank 5 you are practically going to be guaranteed to get goodies all the time. That's also when the master enchantments and stuff like that starts turning up on the market, and the loot, and with some regularity you should start getting blue items to fill up all of your slots as soon as you hit Warband rank 5. And with that, it's very important for these two players to get the extra, they get objective in every single PvE that they do, and hopefully if they do get a reward, to get extra PvEs as well, since that means quite a lot. You can really race ahead in that matter. And Klajd is one of the luckiest players, as usual. He has 2 extra PvEs, which is more than most. There are only a few players that have 2 extra PvEs. Quist has 1 extra. Setting up another flanking route here. Let's see what Annie can do. She probably wants to delay as much as possible. She has pretty good movement here, starting at movement 7. Most of Klajd's warband is about to move. Can expect even the warrior priest, if there is indeed a warrior priest for Klajd, to take part in the actual fight. They can do a decent amount of damage with a 2-handed weapon early on. And let's not forget that the Warrior Priest has a starting spell, which is pretty good against the Skavens, is it takes away all of the poison effects and gives a bit of poison resistance. Very handsome vampire, that. If you're a little bit out of the loop here, Klajd comes into the upper division as the second ranked player because he won the qualifier League 3. The players are ranked depending on how many points they got in their respective qualifiers and then added up to form a big table, and Klajd came in second. He won qualifier League 3, while Quist came in at 11th place out of the 12, so pretty far down, and he finished 4th place in qualifier League 2. Might not be too much to delay with here, indeed. So see more units coming in from Klajd. Might see an old-fashioned brawl here. And the Globadier can be really good in these really large engagements when they can target that poison globe on as many units as possible. They can do a sizable amount of damage. Much more damage than their level 0, at least his current level 0, would speak for. Vampire is of course very important as well. It should not really show him, but it's going to show him right here. Saying that I am nearby, come and get me. And that might trigger Klajd to be a little bit more cautious so he can move in with his entire team at once. Another unit put into safety from shooting. We might see this flagellant being shot up a little bit here by the Dreg. Would be a good choice by Quist. He's relatively nearby as well, with ample protection to cover him. Those are some very tanky zealots here, 199 wounds. They can take quite a beating. It's not worth climbing up there. Might not get too much of a shot off here, will he? Good amount of damage. Does not have a quick reload. That's a mandatory skill as soon as he is able. A bit strange that he went for exhaustion first instead. Cost the same amount. Really wants to get up to the master exhaustion as soon as possible, it seems like, but the quick reload is going to be very helpful. Of course, Quist might play with this Dreg as a bit of hybrid. He always starts with him as a ranged unit, but he often switches to a halberd to do a little bit more damage with him. Klajd taking it easy. I think that Quist has an excellent chance here of zoning out some of Klajd's units. Remember, he is still pure melee, and he has several units here on the left side. He could move to close off the left side by using various ambushes and moving most of his units there, and then make a line straight down the middle here out of poison clouds. They do last for quite a while here. I could also target one of them here, probably. I might be figuring to poison down both of these openings here, yeah. Or just that one. He can move back and walk up the ramp here and put himself in an overwatch. It's going to be very difficult for Klajd to get to him in that case. Well, that's going to be really difficult to get to him. If we can manage to get up. As a matter of fact, you cannot get to a unit up here. There's no room to maneuver, so that's always a blocked off point. It's a very good point for an archer. It's one of the only ways to be completely immune towards melee. That little point on this specific map. Gonna have to be a little bit wary with these units here. When everyone has the red pill saved up, it is you're hoping that your opponent is gonna attack into you, right? Especially if you're starting out in a stance like this. But the way to counter this is that Klajd will attack with overwhelming force against just one target. He will take a little bit of damage. It's a bad trade-off to start, but then he has several other units coming in, doing lethal damage and killing that unit off right away. And then moving away your own units, giving it, or at least forcing your opponent to react to that. Or they will be just down one unit, and then you can just rinse and repeat. And I'm not sure he wants to engage that, does he? Does he really want to engage this? Remember that the leader is nearby, he has a Templar nearby, he's gonna be slaughtered. Well, this could be interesting. I'm not so sure I like this move by Quist. He's also standing there out in the open. He's gonna be double tagged and probably killed in one turn. Is he going to support that character in some fashion? Maybe he just wants to tempt Klajd to go in there with the Templar and his leader, so that Quist's Vampire Thrall and his own Vampire can go there and reinforce. They can do so relatively quickly. Well, the Templars cannot disengage. The same is true for the ghouls, of course. You can do some strategical thinking knowing that. Locking up the Templars in place, for instance, or indeed cancelling out one ghoul at a time here. Remember that Klajd has a numerical advantage in melee. So if he just ties up each of the melee units of Quist with one of his own units, then he's going to have a few units left roaming, 2 of them to go and target the ranged of Quist, which would be the Globadier as well as the Drag. That ghoul is in ambush. Doesn't want that to be triggered. Just having this Zealot nearby also begs Quist to go in and cancel him out. Lock him down in place one-on-one, but that's also serving what Klajd is actually looking for right here. He wants one-on-one lockdowns because that's gonna give him some units to move free that can come in and deal the decisive damage. Like if he doesn't necessarily have to go after the ranged here, he can just attack 2 units against 1 in melee. And remember, if there are units in melee all over the place, it's gonna lessen the impact of the poison cloud, it's gonna lessen the impact of any kind of shooting. Since you do get minus 30% chance to hit someone in melee. Probably want to do a delay here, see what the leader does. And then go and reinforce that poor ghoul. Gonna see what she does though. Maybe she should just put herself into the poison cloud. Because she's in an even more tempting target than a ghoul. And there we go. We do see one measly little... one measly little warrior priest, and here comes the first attack. He might actually finish him off in one blow here. Fails miserably, has a 2-handed weapon indeed. Second attack incoming. And Quist takes the lead, killing off a hero here. Can he move? No, he cannot really move here. So this is gonna definitely demand a response, and I think we're gonna see this Vampire Thrall be double teamed here. See if the vampire can come in and help out against this Witch Hunter captain. I would be surprised if Klajd actually leaves that be. I think he wants to go after the Vampire Thrall. Yeah, he is going after the Vampire Thrall. She's without a stance, so she can't take too many hits. It's a good choice. He's gonna be almost dead. Manages the stun resistance check, that was a bit lucky. Remember that once she took a critical hit here, she's also gonna have the open wounds effect, which is minus 10% chance to hit for the rest of the game. Let's see, can the vampire come in here and reinforce? That's gonna be a key thing here. I think he can. It seems to be just short actually. Does he have exhaustion? Yes, he has exhaustion. I think this might be one of the cases that you can actually use that and go in. See if he can put himself in a advantageous position. Yes, he can. Manages the terror tests, good for him, but gonna have 3 attacks incoming. Remember, with Klajd's really high morale here, he can afford to trade units like this, which is not the same for Quist. So 30 damage for exhaustion, as well as that 27 counterattack damage on the leader, could actually be really good for Klajd, even if his leader dies with this. Is he going to move a lot of the units out, or is he gonna try and cancel some of the ghouls here? Make them stay put. I think it's better to actually get them cancelled. Might go after the vampire thrall. Goes out, the poison cloud is probably going to go after the vampire in this case, the leader. I mean, otherwise why would he go out on this specific route? He's gonna come up right behind the vampire. Indeed. Might go for the vampire thrall first as someone that he can easily kill. And it's equalized, but Klajd has the advantage here because Quist lost a higher leveled hero than Klajd did. Klajd lost a level 0 warrior priest, which is not the same as losing your level 3 vampire thrall. That poison globe really doing its needed damage. Gonna come in here and start doing damage on the vampire as well. He needs support, and he needs support relatively fast. Gonna hope for a miss here for Quist. 23. And indeed, there is a miss. Templars are perfect to go into the vampires because it's one of the few units in the game that are immune to the terror test, as well as the flagellants that are also available to the witch hunters. Seems to be locking himself in here with the zealots on the left side, but as long as the ghouls are staying there, that's fine. But what kind of response can Quist do here to his vampire thrall dying? A poison cloud going into that fight is gonna be good as well. Hitting the witch hunter captain, of course, as well as the Templar, even both Templars. Yeah, that zombie ambush stance would have helped quite a bit. Would have prevented at least one of the Templars here to get out. Maybe even both. Would have had be forced to take another route. You need 2 blue pills to change the weapon. Is that really worth it? I don't think so.
A new round has started.
Well, a poison globe hitting all of the Klajd's remaining heroes can do a lot of damage. And indeed, the ambush on the zombie that could have been a decisive factor. There's still this path of going in, so that other Templar could have gone in there. Blocking the path by himself. This is the flagellant that was shot up once. Can actually fire from here. Yeah, good enough. Good enough. Should probably go into the door opening here and avoid that flagellant. The flagellant is in a dodge stance, not an ambush stance, and it could definitely need some help here on the vampire. It's best to just walk straight into that Templar. Doesn't need to do a charge. Just do 2 regular attacks instead. No, I don't get that. So the flagellant is gonna go in there. Can he get some support from elsewhere? Does he have any units that are relatively nearby? Yeah, that's gonna zone out a little bit. What about the rest of them? That poison cloud will also prevent him from going in there and helping out without taking damage himself, like he just did. Oh no, he's gonna do some sort of going in again and taking damage once more, isn't he? Yeah, he is. He's taking damage twice. That really hurts. She's also in a parry stance. And besides, that's only gonna give him 10% more melee resistance. Not that that will matter too much, since the vampire is probably gonna focus on the opposing leader here. Seems like Klajd has a very decisive advantage at this point. We're gonna see if Quist can come up with something. It looks a little bit tricky. Don't really know what he's supposed to be doing. He has used the poison cloud, but that vampire, he's trying to save him, but I don't think he's going to be able to be saved. He's gonna have one last turn and then that's gonna be it. He's going to die after this turn of his. Can the zombie get in? No, he's just shy of getting in. Two more attacks incoming. Very consistent damage, 25, 25, 26. And gonna end up with a parry stance. It still has one red pill left remaining, I believe. 32, oh my god. That stench is gonna be good here. Gonna help him hit a little bit more. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky because if he attacks here, the counter attack might kill him if he manages to land a parry. Fails it. That was a bit lucky for Quist then. Gonna get a little bit more damage in. It's not gonna be nearly enough. He's in a very precarious situation right now, and I think he's going to go down here in this round. I think this can be a good idea. Klajd is betting on the fact that the Witch Hunter captain will probably bring down the vampire, and why wouldn't he? Get a little bit of a head start on getting out of this position with the Templar to go after some more worthwhile targets. Might be the end of Bobby Joe. Remember, he's also going to take some a single poison test here for more damage. Depends on how many wounds he has remaining. See how much damage he can do on this ghoul here. Could potentially kill him off as the Flagellant's turn is coming up. He's the very first unit to start in the next turn. Could come on in and finish off a finishing blow, and indeed Captain will finish him anyway, exactly as we said. All about using the red pills efficiently and in the order that they are needed to be used. This way the captain can kill off the vampire, then delay, then see the Templar kill off the ghoul, move free, and then opening a path for the very same captain. It's a pretty good idea of doing it. I kind of like it. Seems a bit reluctant here to go out in the open, and why would he? I mean, look at all of these units here. They cannot really get into the house and do anything. Yeah, they can walk around the house, and that's probably what they need to do. Yeah, he's blocking the entire path. No need to go in and take poison damage just to check. Okay, he's gonna go in and take poison damage just to check. Yep, cannot really do anything, but he could walk around the house and help out with the ghoul that's gonna fight against the Templar and the Flagellant as well. He needs help, he needs all the help he can get. Let's move around the house. Quist seems to have gotten with... walks into the poison cloud once more. He should just walk around. Why isn't he walking around the house? Like, it's so simple. There we go. There we go. He's in a dodge stance. He might have a good chance of dodging this, indeed. And he has another attack. It's gonna be that Flagellant's turn right now. He's gonna do a little bit more damage on the dreg.
A new round has started.
Yeah, it would have been a good idea, but indeed he was well off for Humble Servant to work. Humble Servant is not gonna play any part in this game, but it is a trick that Quist has used before to great effect and will continue to do so. Still doesn't see a need to exit these houses. He's only gonna get surrounded. At least now we're gonna get a full poison globe thrown in there, doing max amount of damage on 3 targets. Unless he just skips doing that. Is this a good move? Oh no, that's really not a good move by Quist. What is he gonna use for the remaining three red pills now? He has the poison cloud on the Flagellant. He could have targeted all. Yeah, he could have targeted the captain and both of the Templars with that. Because they are all in the center of the building. There is no one in the between there. Well, if there is one, it would be the vampire that could get hit, but the vampire is immune anyway. And indeed that was just enough. The poison check that he went in and got himself killed off. Unfortunately for him. I wonder what kind of disease carry effect that Templar got. Could it possibly have been -5 initiative? I think so. I think he actually got -5 initiative. It seems like that. He seems to have 38 now. Should have had 43. Well, if Klajd is not willing to give into a fight here with all of his zealots, then just round the building and force down that Flagellant. I mean, you did go into the Flagellant for some reason, I would suspect. Since he had 4 red pills remaining and he took 2 hits to the face. Should be one good reason for that. If the zombie goes in against the Templar to help out the vampire, it's a good deal. And that ghoul could possibly go around the building since he has the movement for it. Here we go. Can definitely go into the flagellant. Is really what he should do. That's why he charged him with the drag. And this just makes the poison cloud even worse of a choice, doesn't it? This is precisely what I mean when we say that poison clouds tend to hurt yourself more than your opponent if you're not really playing carefully with it. A lot of players do it just like this. They throw away the globes and they think, oh, this is a good spot for it to be, and then just one turn later they discover, oh man, yeah, I need to be in that spot, I need to move through, and then they end up taking a lot of damage. Indeed. You read my thoughts, Quist. Exactly. Locking down this zombie. Could trigger some of the ghouls to return back here, but several of these Zealots are gonna come in here and help out in this fight. He's committed now. Very nice hit, ignoring the parry once more. See if we can be lucky here with the vampire. Yes, he is! Starting off really good here, failing the terror test. Remember, he has a parry check as well, so let's see if he can actually manage to survive the parry check too. He does! Gets a counter attack. One attack incoming. Can he survive? If he does minimum amount of damage, he will. He does 31 damage minimum, he has 32 wounds. Let's see. Can Quist make an unbelievable comeback of 27 damage even? Oh wow. Yes, he can live. So the captain, Klajd made a good tactical decision, but it turned out to be a little bit wrong here. He has not killed off the leader, and now he needs to face the consequences. And that parry is a little bit harmless because, as we know, it's without a red pill at the moment, and he fails it as well. Oh my god, yeah, this could be a decent amount of damage coming in. It's not gonna be enough to kill him, of course, and that evens out some of the luck. But it is a respectable amount of damage. Might want to finish him off now with the Templar. Go straight past the dodge. It's like the dodge and parries don't exist to these players, they just go through them. Nice stun resistance check. Evening out by another miss. Poison Globe continuing to do a lot of damage to these units. Yeah, figured he would make sure just to be on the clear side here. And one of the problems now for Klajd, of course, is that he's going to be locked in here. He needs to burst out, otherwise the captain is not going to do anything, and he might not as well live. That is one of the main reasons that Klajd elected to have the captain kill off the vampire, so he had at least something to do. Yeah. Yeah, but Humble Servant, you need to be almost like in base contact. That is the problem, and I don't think you could have gotten in there, even if you could have moved a little bit further into the door. Because there was a unit there that was blocking the area off, the Templar. Even more poison damage being done. You can see how powerful the Globadiers can be if you just have them in the right place. It's all about using it correctly here. You could do actually... Oh, you can do two strong blows here. It doesn't really need that, but... killing off one unit, could move in from the other side. You know there are fights happening behind you. He needs to be careful with the Dreg, of course. He cannot survive any kind of all alone check. You don't want to switch to the bow. It's gonna be as a dodge stance right here. We are getting closer to the route test that Quist has to take, and he doesn't have many units left to take them.
A new round has started.
Remember that Dreg probably has a really low leadership, leaving it all up to the level 0 Globadier, which doesn't start too highly either. And now we're gonna have the Dreg being surrounded. That's not enough for an all alone check right now, since it is 1 on 1 on 1 on 1 on 1 at the currently, and that means that the game is not counting it as an all alone check. You need to be having a numerical superiority in one direction. Could reload, go forward, cast another poison globe in there, and by that maybe killing off the captain here, as well as with a nice shot. Try and hit the captain instead. You can see him in the background, but yeah, you need to have the right angle for it. What about the... there we go. Yeah, that's the sweet spot. That is the sweet spot that he needed to try A bit early. Only actually managed to do damage on the leader here. The two Templars miraculously make the poison resistance check. Yeah, it was very good. Can Linda come in and help out? She should be able to. Doesn't need to go in that direction. There's nothing there for you. Doesn't need to do a charge here. Just 2 attacks is better. I like this, making sure that the drag is not gonna take an all alone check until the zombie dies at the very least. Which might actually be the case here coming up. Failing the parry check once more. And making up for it with a miss. And this fight is it's very slow right now, I feel, and it seems to be already won by Klajd due to the positioning and the power of the units and what kind of units have actually gone down right now. But it is still slow for him to get that get those kills done. Don't walk into the poison cloud. Just move around. Why aren't you moving around the house and helping out to fight against the Zealot? I don't get it. Like, this Zealot could have had an all-alone check coming in on him right now. If you just moved the ghoul up there, it would have been an all-alone check. That would have been the smarter move. Instead, that ghoul is not gonna do anything. Maybe the last turn of this zombie. What can he do? Which unit does he want to focus on? Unlucky. Finally gonna get to use this web of steel here. I hope it's gonna prove useful for two attacks. Terror test. Only a 26% parry chance. Alright. But manages to do it twice anyway. That's kind of impressive. And this should be the beginning of the end. As soon as Klajd can get out with some of his heavy hitters, it should be game over. Now the drag is gonna take an all alone check as well. And since he's wearing a helmet that starts with 2 leadership, it's gonna be very tough for him to make that. Or even 1 leadership, I believe. Yeah, they start just with 1 leadership. We have 34 morale left for Quist. Let's see how long it takes until that is taken down in its entirety. There's a numerical advantage, sure, for Klajd, but a lot of that numerical advantage is trapped within this house. Why move away? Don't you want the all alone check to trigger in? I suppose not. Oh yeah, I could move in here and do a little bit of a kill with the captain, I thought. Finally beating himself free and could go out after the Globadier. Probably wants to do that, only 20 morale left now. Gonna do a charge, I think, with the 3 red pills remaining, doing a sizable amount of damage on Goldtooth, in fact taking off half of his wounds right away. Well, didn't have much choice there. Should stay here with the Zelo to provide the all alone check. Doesn't he? Let's see if he survives it. And he does not! And he gets 3 attacks on him. Wow, yeah, that's really bad for him. Almost dead, and he's gonna get chased down. Well, when you're already there, you could as well just take the idol off Klajd. Seems to be going for that now. No exhaustion is not worth it. And then now we have the captain coming in. He's probably going to go in and finish off the Globadier. That means 1 less unit that can take the route test. But there's still not a route test to be had. Even if the Globadier dies, it's only going to be 12 morale going down. He needs to... Wow. Why? That was... Alright, it's going to take 30 damage in the next turn. That was actually kind of a nice ambush. I forgot all about that. Klajd as well, I think. It could be the end of Klajd's leader in case we do go for a whole turn as well. I don't think we'll go that far, but we'll see. It's going to take some damage from the poison and only has a few more wounds left remaining. Waiting to see what Klajd is going to do here.
A new round has started.
Can he reach the dreg? It might be... he put himself in easy charge range here, but it's blocking the door, of course. Needs to go around the building if he wants to do anything. Might want to finish off the Globadier here, that's why you're going into the poison cloud. Just not quite enough. One wound left remaining. Alright. Can... it's gonna drop another poison cloud on these two. Making another poison resistance check here, the Templar. He's been really good at that. Quist is certainly running himself up to have quite a good movement here with the ghouls. Maybe they will get knowledge Mordheim, and then you have the vampires, of course, and the focus that he has on exhaustion and the later exhaustion master is gonna serve Quist quite well when he wants to catch up to nasty purifiers and stuff like that. And that's part of the issue here for Klajd, is he doesn't have really any speed. He has power, he has staying power, but he needs some sort of speed into his warband at some point, or he will suffer against a numerous amount of opponents here that can exploit that weakness. It's always one of the main weaknesses for the witch hunters, of course. It's really difficult to get rid of. Gonna see a slow grind here now. Still going to need 2 kills or getting the idol here, but the idol is pretty much far out of reach as well for Klajd. But even the Globadier, I think the Globadier starts with around 3 leadership or something like that. So unless yeah, I don't think he actually has any more than that. So 3 leadership is 12% for a route test for Quist when he does go down below the threshold here. Has walked into the poison cloud and he's delay. He's gonna take even more damage. So deadly here with the poison clouds. Might see a ghoul going down now. One of the 2 that's needed. Yeah, indeed. People are watching. Come on, finish it. Do something. That's all that he needed to do. He's gonna kill himself. He's also only gonna have 1 wound left remaining here. Remember, he had 37. Took exhaustion, so he's only gonna have 7 left at the start of the turn, which is now nothing. Needs to kill some of these units before he dies of poison here, Klajd. Still has a very good morale, so he's gonna survive a few more losses and a few more missed 95s. Good with the poison resistance checks, you can give him that at least. There's 1 more kill needed, and that's gonna happen as soon as it's Dreg's turn. Doesn't really need to. If Klajd just checks the minimap, he will see that that unit is gonna die. I should just go after this ghoul here. I mean, there are not that many targets left. If he kills the ghoul here and the drag is gonna die, then it's only gonna be the 1 wound Globadier left. That's all it's gonna be here.
Warband morale is critically low.
And there we go. Route test incoming. Unless Quist just wants to do a voluntary route now. I mean, he could do that. It's not gonna matter for him, it just means that Klajd will have one less point in the table. Yeah, this game seems to be decided half an hour ago, and still here we are. 1 hour into the game.
Started.
Globadier is a wonderful thing. And there we go. Round test failure. 12% chance, just as foretold. Klajd winning the very first game here of the upper division. Quist losing out as expected. Congratulations to Klajd. Too bad luck for Quist, and I hope you see you in more games. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this upper division league game. And we will see plenty of them coming up. Farewell for now.